Alright, hello everyone and welcome. How's everyone doing today? A lovely Thursday. Not really here in Washington State because it is hot as shit. What I mean by that is we're currently in the midst of a heat wave. Temperatures are in the 90s or above. Now, in a lot of places, 90 degrees Fahrenheit isn't that hot, and I understand that. But for us, 90 degrees Fahrenheit is very hot. And the fact that I only have one air conditioner for the entire house, leaves something to be desired, especially when it gets to about mid-afternoon and the sun is baking across the front wall of our house, turning it up by about 40 degrees. So anyway, hello, I am Darkside Phil. Today is the 18th of August. We are continuing today with Scarface, which, thank God, yesterday I turned the whole playthrough around. I was able to basically turn lemons into lemonade, let's put it that way. After Monday's stream of Scarface, where for 3.5 hours I was trying to raise funds to progress with the story, and I was unable to do so. I was unsuccessful. Yesterday, I completely flipped it on its head without cheating, which is another positive. I was able to raise enough funds to progress the story, then to get on to the next portion of the story, the next location on the map. It was a lot of fun. It was frustrating, and it was challenging, but it was still a lot of fun. So today, we're starting off today's Scarface stream, with, of all things, more fundraising. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, more fucking fundraising. I can't wait. Now, the good news is, I ended yesterday's stream with 15 kilos of coke in hand, ready to be distributed throughout the city. So that's what we're going to resume today. Hopefully, I'll make several $1 million, and I'll probably have to do it a few more times because I need to raise $12 million in order to buy the remaining 3 fronts in South Beach. Once I purchase those fronts, the story will progress. So that's what I need to do today. Let's hope it goes smoothly so that we can get to more story. I would love to do another big chunk of the story today if possible. Okay, so that's going to be today's gameplay stream. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, later tonight, I am going to be playing more No Man's Sky. And you might say to yourself, well, how did that happen? I thought that Phil was all done with that game and he had written it off. He was going to review it and say enough of it. Last night, also, I had a turnaround in No Man's Sky, which was very surprising. I certainly wasn't expecting that. But basically what happened last night was I ran into an anomaly, a spatial anomaly, which is this ship that has these 2 aliens on it. I asked them to put me back onto the Atlas path, which they did. So I was able to get to the Atlas interfaces, which technically have a little bit of story to each one, okay? So once I started following these Atlas interfaces, then all of a sudden, randomly, I found the upgrade to upgrade my warp drive, which allows me to jump 4 different systems at a time. 4 different star systems. So I basically last night, in the 14 hours of gameplay that I played in No Man's Sky, I had only seen 1 Atlas interface. As of the end of last night's session, I've now seen like 8 Atlas interfaces. I saw that many. It's pretty crazy. Okay? So, I had some good progress. And what I want to do tonight, I'm going to play No Man's Sky again, and I want to try to get even further. I basically want to attempt to progress as far as I can. Maybe do tons more Atlas interfaces. We'll see. It all depends, because now I need to gather resources, sadly. So, probably the first hour of freaking gameplay is going to be me, grabbing stupid isotopes and shit in order to craft the things that I need to get more warp fuel. And then progress on with more of this Atlas interface. I don't know how many Atlas interfaces there actually are in the game. But I made some pretty awesome progress last night. And as long as things go smoothly tonight, it should continue to do so. Alright? So the reason I'm doing that is because I want to know a little bit more about the Atlas interfaces before I review the game. I don't want to do a full review and be like, well, I don't know about this one thing here. So, we'll see. We'll see how much I can learn. We'll see how much I can get done. I don't know if I'm going to continue to play No Man's Sky further after tonight, or if tonight will be the final session. I guess we'll see. Okay? So, basically, this weekend will be a combination of Scarface, a little bit more No Man's Sky. I don't know if I'm going to play more of it or not. If not, it'll definitely be the review coming up. And this Saturday, I'm going to be checking out the Titanfall 2 beta. There's a Titanfall 2 open multiplayer beta on the Xbox One and PS4 this weekend. I will be trying it out on PS4 this coming Saturday to see what it is all about and see if it's any better than the original game was. Alright, of course, all this is leading into next week. Next week, we got the 2 high-profile releases. Well, one really high-profile AAA release and one minor release. You know, we've got Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which we've all been waiting for what, 4+ years? You know, I played Deus Ex Human Revolution many years ago, and it was quite a fun game and a fun playthrough. And I can't wait to play the next one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll be checking out King of Fighters 14. I'm hoping the game's good, because I would love to go into depth playing with all the characters and doing, you know, training mode and going online and playing through the story mode. I know that there is just an arcade style mode. That's like in all King of Fighters they have that. So it's gonna be fun checking that out. I haven't played a King of Fighters game in a million years, so that could be pretty cool. And then of course the end of the month we've got Attack on Titan, and we've got Fallout 4's final expansion, Nuka World. So, lots of stuff coming up. That's going to be a fun ending to the month. I'd like to thank you for a good start to the month. From what I can tell, this month is going to be a much better month than last month was. So that's good. I'd also like to say thank you for the good attention over on KO Gaming. The channel where I'm doing all this edited stuff. As of this morning, my video about No Man's Sky from last week, which was just an initial early review, has over 41,000 views and growing. It's still growing, which is awesome. I wasn't expecting that, but it's cool to see that people really like my opinions in those kind of videos that I put out. So, thanks for that, and I'm wondering now, what will my final review do? Alright, so that's really it. I think I'm just going to do some plugs and then we're going to get started. Alright? I think that there's really no other reason to delay. I want to get started with Scarface right away. So, you know, the usual plugs. You guys know what the deal is. Thanks for watching my streams and my on-demand videos everywhere. Thanks for spreading via word of mouth. It's your word of mouth. That's my primary form of advertisement because I can't afford formal advertisement. I don't have a financial backer or investor or anything like that in order to try to get the word out about my stuff and how I do things differently from most other YouTubers and streamers. And I certainly don't collaborate is what I meant to say, or corroborate, and I turned them into collaborate. I always combine words, but anyway, I don't do that stuff. I'm a man of my own. I always do things my own way, right? And it's because of you that I'm still here. If it weren't for the word of mouth and these hardcore viewers who come back to watch me play whatever I play on a daily basis, I would not be here. So thank you for that. How can you help? If you like my daily streams, you like my daily content, and you want to see, you know, me continue to be successful, right? What can you do? Well, first off, number one, you can continue to watch the streams and the videos, but you can also spread the word, like I just mentioned, via word of mouth to your friends and whatever. If you check the description of all of my videos, there's a link to a Loot Crate discount code. So if you've ever been interested in getting a Loot Crate subscription, you can save 10%, and I get a cut of that. So please check that out. That's in the description of all videos and streams that I do as of the past, like, month and a half. Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP. You can follow me there for nightly schedule updates, all kinds of information on social media about things going on in gaming and pop culture and all kinds of stuff. I post up pictures from times to time. I cannot speak English today. I post up pictures from time to time of various interesting things. So if you would like to, you know, check out that stuff, please follow me on Twitter. Social media is very key to internet success this day and age, especially with businesses, so that's why I'm all over it. I already mentioned KO Gaming at youtube.com/KO Gaming1. Please check out those videos if you haven't. Something completely different from what I do here on DSP Gaming on a daily basis. Of course, the big one is Patreon. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil, where your monthly pledges allow me to continue to do this full time. It's no exaggeration that Patreon is the reason that this year I'm able to still do YouTube as my full-time job. If I didn't have the Patreon support, I would not be able to afford to pay my bills. So thank you to those who have been doing ongoing pledging. I appreciate that, all right? This month, we have a goal set up that if I hit my funding goal level for the month of August, I'll be doing a full playthrough of one of these 3 games, Jak 3, Banjo-Kazooie, or Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. That playthrough will take place in July. I almost said in July. I told you, I cannot speak today. I don't know what's going on. That playthrough will take place in September. Thank you very much. That's what I meant to say. And if you pledge $5 or more by the end of this month to my Patreon, you will be voting on which of those 3 games will take place as a playthrough if we hit the funding level. The good news is, as of today, we're only about 160, I think it's like 162 $162 away from hitting the funding level. And with about 2 weeks left in the month, especially with the high-profile releases that are coming out next week, I'm going to be getting a lot more attention on my channel than usual, and I think that people will come out and pledge. I think we should hit the goal. Now, I'm not going to say for sure, because then when I usually say, oh, don't worry, we hit the goal, then what ends up happening is, you know, we get into dire straits. So I certainly don't want to overpromise here and say that, yes, we're certain to hit it. But as long as, you know, a small group of people decide to pledge by the end of the month, which usually they do around the second half of the month, I think we're going to hit the goal and we're going to see a fun playthrough come September. All right? So, that's the deal. Please consider pledging, even if you can't afford $5, which some people, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't have a lot of money, and I wish I could help Phil out and keep him going on YouTube, but I really don't have a lot of money. As little as $1 helps. As little as $1. The most successful people who use Patreon have a ton of people who pledge $1. I'm not kidding. Or whatever their smallest pledge amount is. That's how you're successful. A bunch of people who can give up a small amount and it doesn't affect them at all, but it adds up. And it does help. It's like I've said many times before. If 1/10 of the amount of people who watched my content on a monthly basis, and just to give you some perspective here, all right, I get millions of views a month across all of my YouTube channels. I mean, just on DSPGaming alone, I get millions of views a month. If 1/10 of that gave $1, just think about that. That'd be like $100,000 a month. I would never have to worry about YouTube ad revenue. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. That would be insane. I will never get there. I really don't believe I'll ever get there on Patreon. I mean, that's crazy. Imagine 100,000 people pledging $1 a month. That'd be out of control. But I digress. You see, that's the thing. People don't realize how much they can actually help with as little as $1. So please consider pledging if you have not. Every dollar counts, and I hope that we can get that 162 to make the goal, and that this playthrough will happen next month. All right, and then last but not least, ladies and gents, my girlfriend has her own business, The Black Current. She sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tar melts. It's been very successful since the inception of the business in February of 2015. So a year and a half she's been in business, and she sold hundreds of items, shipped all around the world. All right, been very successful, and hopefully she'll continue to be successful. So far, so good. This year's actually been a better year for her. She's done better than last year for sure. So please check out the website. Right there's your link, etsy.com/shop/The Black Current, and give it a look. All right, that's it. I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for watching, for being here. It is time now to fundraise and sell that yayo. Sell the yayo. It's time to make yayo. All right, sounds good? All righty then. Thank you, folks. It is time to begin. Let us do it. Let's do it. It is Scarface time. Here we go.